Good morning to all. I am Dr. Arumugam, Assistant Professor, School of Politics and Public Administration, Tamil Nadu Open University. Dear students, today we discuss about BPAS 11 Introduction to Public Administration. Meaning of public administration is the non-political working in a political framework. Manage the closures of the state, the sovereign will, the public interest and laws. Is the business side of the government and as such worried about the strategy execution, yet it is likewise worried about approaching making. Covers every one of the three parts of the government, that means legislative, executive and judiciary, three parts of the government. In spite of the fact it will be in general be moved in the presidential approach, gives administrative and administration capacities to individual to accomplish great life. Contract fundamentally from private organization, particularly in its accession to the general population. It's interdisciplinary like political theory, financial aspect and human science. Dear students, is interdisciplinary like political theory, financial aspects and human science. Political theory, it consists state, government, sovereignty, population, territory like this, and origin of the theories, and political ideas and political ideologies. These concepts are incorporated in the political theory. No? Public administration is the activities of the executive branches of national or central. Branches of national or central. Definition of public administration. Public administration is the study of management of the public agencies that carry out public policies in order to fulfill the state purpose in the public interest. State purpose in the public interest. Public administration comprises the activities that are involved in carrying out the policies and programs and governments. Public administration describes the structure and functions of the power of the public administration. It's a procedure and operational instrument of the state. In this sense, public administration encompasses every type of public service and organization. Every type of public service and organization, that is the important. Public administration is organizational execution of administration together with the provision of public service and activities. So this is the general information about the public administration. So definition of public administration according to Woodrow Wilson, public administration is a detailed and systematic execution of law. Once again I repeating you, public administration is a detailed systematic execution of the law, excludes policy formulation as well as effect of offices. This is the public administration. And let us go for scope of public administration. What is the scope of public administration? Traditionally, the scope of public administration is restricted only to the executive branch. Publication is public administration means it insisting execute. It is an executive branch. It is an executive branch. In this sense, public administration covers primarily the organization, personnel, practices and procedures essentially to affect performance of the executive branch of government. Public administration covers primarily the organization, personnel, practices and procedures essential to affect performance of the executive branch of government. Administration function, process of administration. Postcard is the major scope of public administration. Postcard is the major scope of part of public administration. So, what is postcard? in every institutions must follow these postcard principles. Postcard means P defines planning, O stands for organization, S stands for staffing, D stands for directing, Co stands for coordinating, R stands for reporting, and budgeting. These things are called postcard. Without postcards, any institution cannot run. Without postcard, any institution cannot survival. Without postcard, any institution goals not survival. So postcard is the essential things of public administration. And then substantial concerns matters administrative such as defense, healthcare, education, social security, and welfare policy, fire protection, agriculture, industry, etc. So public policy making the content of it implementation and policy outputs. So we elaborately discuss about the scope of public administration. Dear students, now what is the relationship between public and private administration? As a coordinated group activity, administration is truly universal and operate in all type of public and private organizations and also non-governmental organization. But on the basis of the nature and the institutional setting, public administration can roughly distinguish from the private administration. Public administration is governmental administration concerned with achieving state purposes. Private administration related to administration of private business organizations which are more concerned with the achieving of own purposes. These things are difference between public and private administration. No. Now we have give more concentration. This is the major part of your examination point of view. So, my dear students, please kindly focus on this area. Elements of public administration. So many segments are incorporated in public administration. First, you take people. People is the basic element of public administration as well as the state. And then organization. Organization means right place for right things. It is called organization. It may be formal organization or informal organization. This is the second part of organization. It is included departmental and ministry and life agency, staff agency, etc. etc. And then third part is public policy. Public policy is very important in public administration. Normally, public administration, if take in any government, the government has so many departments. In each and every department having a certain work, that means performing of goals, socio-economic welfare of the socio-economic welfare development of the people. So public administration need to perform, need to frame to public policy to the people. And then law and regulations. When created the policy or when formulated the policy, when implementing the policy, we need such law and regulations. So law and regulations is very must for public administration. Without law and regulations, we cannot enact, we cannot do, we cannot implementation the such type of public policy. And then public finance. Finance is essential for public administration because it is a yield, it is a source of what are the incomes, which way incomes, what are the public corporations, public institutions. This is the very important. And these items are, we have to classify, these items are under the public finance. Okay, and last one is public servants. So public administration is the major role or vital role to do service to the public. So the objectives of the public administration do this work through the public servants. The public administration is enhance and enrich these goals and enact these policies through the public administration, public servants. So public servants is the base. Public servants is the pillar of the public administration. because these public servants to execute is the policies to reach reach the goals and achievements to the public for socio-economic development needs. So elements of publication is very important aspect for you. Let us go for evaluation of public administration. Normally we have five classification of evaluation of public administration. Phase 1, the politics, administration, economy, 1887 to 1926. This is the first phase. And then second phase, the principles of administration, 1927 to 1937. This is the second phase. And third phase, criticism and challenges, 1938 to 1950. Fourth phase, crisis of identity, 1950 to 1970. And last one, fifth phase, public administration as an independent discipline, 1917 onwards. This is the evolution of public administration. Now, approaches to the public administration. The following aspects depend upon the approaches to the public administration. Philosophy of approach, number 1, it is a philosophy. Number 2, legal approach, rules and regulations. Historical approach, it is traditional customs and conventions, maybe. The case method approach and institutional and structural approach, behavioral approach, human factor approach, political economy approach to public administration, structural and functional approach to the public administration, public policy to public administration, Martin traditional and other approaches to the public administration. These are the major approaches to public administration. So, my dear learners, you have to select some important, some features of the approaches of the public administration. Now, let us discuss principles of public administration. What we have earlier discussed about the public administration importance. Now principles of public administration. Public administration having 7 type of principles. These principles is essential for this is the pillar of the public administration. This is the pillar of the public administration. Let us check up hierarchy, span of control, unity of command, power and authority, supervision, delegation and coordination. Now let us discuss about one by one. What is hierarchy? Hierarchy means it is like ladder. And superior, for example, an office or organization, superior, from superior to bottom, from top to bottom, from bottom to top. Superior office subordinates up to lower level, step by step, hierarchy. Each and every organization having hierarchy protocol, hierarchy setup. Each and every organization having hierarchy setup. For example, if you take revenue department, for example, we take revenue department in Tamil Nadu, in district administration itself, village administrator is the lower level, and then revenue inspector is the upper level, and deputy tahsildar is another cadre. Another tahsildar is the first cadre of taluka level administration. Tahsildar, deputy tahsildars, revenue inspectors, and VUs. If take district administration like this, district collector is the supreme power, is the number 1. DRO, divisional revenue officer, DRO is the second place. Deputy collector is the third place. He is a revenue district officer, and then followed earlier told that tahsildar, revenue inspectors, etc. etc. This is called the Indian revenue system for example of hierarchy. Span of control. They measure another tool of span of control. The span of control is another very important tool for public administration, and then unity of command. You take example, suppose two servants and boss. Unity command is very important. The authority powers, vested or delegated in office, we must unity of the command. We must give the unity of the command. That delegation unity is very important. Unity of command is very important. Without unity of command, we can't get the result. When we are delegating the powers, orders or circulars or work, so unity command is very important for public administration in so many offices. And then power and authority. Power is very important. Power Power and authority empowers or refers to do the work for others. Power means to do others. Authority. Power and authority is very important for principles of public administration, and supervision also very important. Supervision is very important to public administration. Without supervision, we can't, when giving the works to the employees or subordinates, without supervision, we cannot reach the goal at the moment, at the time, at the term bound. So delegation is very important. When hierarchy is very important for public administration, as well as delegation is very important. When giving the superior giving the work to subordinates, the power should be delegate to the subordinates. Power should be delegate at the each level of work. Level of work, the delegation of power is very important. And then coordination. Coordination is ABC. For example, so many departments or wings or divisions is available like A, B, C, D. Suppose A and B or A and D, between C and D is very important. If any broken the link of C or D, we can't coordinate it. We can't survive with it. We can't reach the goal. So coordination is very important. Coordination is means like a chain. When putting the chain in leg, the chain, each part is very important. Each part is interlinked. Like that, the organization is very important. Each division, each units are important. Each unit's coordination is very important. These things, these principles are very important to public administration. Department and boards. My dear students, if my government has three components now. One is legislature, another is executive, another is third part is judiciary. Now, if take second part of executive, that means executive consisting two components now. One is department, another is ministry. When we come to the department, in every government, central government or state government having department and boards. Departments, few departments. Board, it related to the connectivity boards. No, so department boards. Four different principles or basis which are department organized. These principles are: functional principle number one, where the departments is organized on the basis of the nature of function or purpose. It is said to have been organized on functional principle. Number two, process principle. The word process denotes more or less specified method or core talent, such as engineering, accountancy, etc. The client principle, when department is set up, address a specific problem of a community, sector, clients or individuals serviced are considered to be foundation of such department. The department to be constituted with all the problems of that particular section. So geographical principle is very important. So function, process, client, geographical, these are the major principles of the department and boards. Now, public corporations. My dear students, Public corporations is body corporate created by act of parliament or legislature, it name notified at the official gazetteer. Advantages of public corporation, gazetteer or central government, it may be state government, no. Advantages of the public corporations, bold management due to the operational economy. Number one, bold management due to the operational economy, number one. Number two, legislative control. In each every public corporations under the control of legislative control, no? And cozy and contented staff. Tyler, mad stature, non-affected by the political changes, lesser livelihood of exploitation, and a reasonable pricing policy. These are the these are the principles are the undercoming in the public corporations. Independent regulatory commissions. Also, public administration deals about the independent regulatory committee. What are the functions of the independent regulatory commissions? No, number one, the Interstate Commerce Commission. Number one, the Board of Governor of the Federal Reserve System, the Federal Trade Commission, the Federal Convention Commission, the Federal Power Commission, the Securities and Exchange Commission, the National Labor Relations Board, the United States Methane Commission, the Civil Aeronautics Board. These are the independent regulated boards in under control of the public administration. Governance. My dear students, let us discuss about the governance. Governance as the normations has given the concept of good governance. It enables the governing to process equal opportunity and fair delivery of goods. My dear students, the government provide equal opportunity and fair delivery of goods and services to the people who are most marginally in society. This is the very important point of governance, good governance. And then good governance refers to mobilizing the people of a country in the best direction possible. It requires the unity of people in society and motivates them to attaining political objectivity. In other words, it ensures proper utilization of all other resources of a state for its citizens, which ensure sustainable development. And then good governance is key to development and maintaining an environment that provides robust and fair growth and is a vital complement to smart economic policy, said that World Bank 1992. So every government should have good governance to the people for opportunities and fair delivery for good service to the people who among most margin in the society. It is called good governance. Essential of good governance. My dear student, we discussed about the good governance. What are the essentials of the good governance? Participation. Participation is very important in good public administration. Public administration and participation is very important. Participants may be public or pressure groups or any other type of groups or trade unions, something, etc. etc. Participation is very important in public administration. Number two, rule of law. Rule of law, what is mean rule of law? Rule of law means all are equal. All are equal. All are equal before the court. Anyone, all are equal. Rule of law emphasizes that all are equal. Law is equal for all. There is no discrimination based on equity, freedom, religious, education, culture, etc. So are all equal. It is called rule of law. And then transparency. Transparency is very important. What is the government policies? What is the public policies? What are the budgets are allocated? What is the fund allocated to the certain budget and schemes? So transparency is the service, the enactment of the policy, the enactment of the public policies should be transparency is important to the public administration. Responsiveness and then responsiveness when executing the programs policies Responsiveness is very important. When executing programs to the public response is very important. Or public related or companies or public corporations related to the policies, response is very important. Consciousness oriented and equity of inclusiveness, effectiveness and efficiency. Effectiveness and efficiency is very important for good governance. Accountability is also very important. These things are very essential for good governance. My dear learners, please note it. Essential good government is very, whereas we have in essential good governance, the government is done, the government is where the government is in very well. Smart governance. We discuss about that some good governance, essentials of good governance. Let us discuss what is the smart governance. Some smart governance is these some components. S stands for simple, M stands for moral, A stands for accountable, R stands for responsive, T stands for transparent. This is the major important. Simple, moral, accountable, responsive, transparencies. These 5 components is called smart governance. Smart governance is very important. So we need for smart governance. ICT is very important. ICT is a very vital role in good governance. ICT is the very vital role in smart governance. So these are the principles are explaining this smart governance. Smart governance. Role of ICT in good governance. The following, you look at this picture now. G2C. G stands for government to citizens. G2C, government to citizens. Interaction between the government and the citizens, number 1. G2C, formula number 1. G2B, government to business. We discussed about the G2C, government to citizens. G2B means government to business. It enables the business community to interact with the government by the using e-governance tools. Third point, G2G, government to government. What is government to government? Enable to seamless interaction between various government entities, government to government, and then government to E, government to employees, the kind of interaction between the government and its employees. G2C is first formula, G2B is second formula, G2G is third formula, G2E the government is the fourth formula. This is the major part of the ICT role in good governance. Let us also use the technology in governance is very important. Where your list of the technologies in governments, for example, e-legislature, strengthening, parliamentary committees, virtual judiciary, promotion participation democracy, implementing good governance, achieving sustainable development goals. We are using ICT through good governance in public administration. Thank you. Thank you for all for kind cooperation. Thank you. Thank you.